Okay, we have everybody on board. It's 7:31. I would like to open the Butte-Silver Council Commissioners Committee of the Whole meeting, Wednesday, February 10th, 2021. Roll call. We have 10 present, 1 presiding, and 1 absent. Just let the record show that Commissioner Reardon is excused. Commissioner Sorge, could you please lead us in the prayer?
Chairperson Shaw, Almighty God, we implore you, look upon us and guide us this night as we make decisions which so greatly affect our community at Butte-Silver. Direct our thoughts, words, and deeds so that we please you and best serve our fellow citizens. Amen.
Amen. Okay, at this time, I would open up for any public comment on any items on the agenda. Nate, could you check the phones, please? Thank you. Call-ins are welcome, of course, at 497-5009. I have no written comments for this portion of the meeting. I have a couple at the end of the meeting. We sent our IT person downstairs and he's probably running back up to open the phone, so we're getting there. Still giving it a second to see if any are call-ins for this evening. Okay. All right, it looks like we don't have any calls in at the moment, and we will keep the lines open for the duration of the meeting. So I will move forward to the report of the chair. I do have a couple of things I wanted to bring up tonight. As everyone probably knows, our county buildings are opening up Tuesday on February 16th. I'm excited about the library reopening and the archives and of course the courthouse. With that said, I am in some early dialogue with both our health director, Karen Sullivan, and Kathy Kennison, our IT director, to look into the possibility of opening up in-person meetings for the council. There's obviously some logistics involved, but we have opened up the dialogue and I am waiting to hear from those are the experts, and I will defer to them. So more to come on that. I'm pretty excited about just that happening someday, but we will at least open that up for some discussion. Also, as you may know, this afternoon, our Governor Gianforte announced as of this Friday, he's going to be lifting the mandatory mask restrictions for the state of Montana. Karen Sullivan did ask me, and I will just say now that we are still, according to our direction, the board had an emergency rule on December 22nd, as you know, where we kept our restrictions as they were, including the mask mandate, and that will stand. We did raise the hours for the taverns and other establishments. As you know, on the 4th, we did that. Otherwise, all of our restrictions stand as they are. If anybody asks us, that will be coming out. I'm sure the media will be taking note of that on the front page tomorrow. So just so you know, she did ask me to just give you guys a heads up and anybody else that might be listening in. So with that, I will move on to our bid opening. We have item 1, communication number 2021-49. Angie Mulligan, Public Works Budget Analyst, requesting Council of Commissioners concurrence and authorization to schedule a bid opening for tonight, the February 10th, for the dig and replacement of sewer lines at Clark, Zerelda, Alabama, Hornet, Waukesha, Quartz, Rampart, and Cedar Lake streets. County Attorney, do we have proof of publication?
Madam Chair, there is proof of publication and it does appear to be in order.
Thank you, County Attorney. So I would call on is it Annette? Are you, excuse me, is Ms. Gleason going to be opening our bids this evening?
Yes, Madam Chair, Council of Commissioners, the funding for this project is 50% from the state of Montana TSEP grant program. The other 50% is a local match. The scope of work, like you mentioned, includes removing 1,425 linear feet of sanitary sewer pipe and then replacing 2,306 feet of pipe including some additional manholes and then patching and asphalt replacement. The area of work is identified in the Butte-Silver Metro Sewer Master Plan, and it includes areas north of the Anselmo Mine. And the second location is near Cedar Lake and White Wade Boulevard. We have two bids here tonight. The first one is Hoffman R&M Services, 2100 Meadowlark Lane, Butte, Montana, 59701. My fingers. I got it. See them.
And Madam Chair, there is a bid bond from a licensed surety company in the amount of 10% that does appear to be in order.
Thank you, County Attorney.
The total lump sum bid is $862,031.62. That's $862,031.62.
Thank you, Ms. Gleason.
The second bid is from H&H Contracting, Inc., 501 Centennial Avenue, Butte, Montana, 59701.
County Attorney Joyce.
We're still getting into the package here. It has lots of nice, good tape on it.
Now, if you're down at this table, I'd know that, but okay. I just see your face.
Sorry about that.
Madam Chair, there is a bid bond in the amount of 10% from a licensed surety company that appears to be in order.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, Commissioners, this lump sum bid is $887,166. Again, the amount is $887,166.
Thank you. And does that conclude the bid openings for this evening?
That concludes the bid openings.
Thank you. Commissioner Frederickson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. With that, I'll make a motion to refer to the Public Works Department.
Second.
I didn't catch all that, Sean.
I made a motion to refer it to the Public Works Department for their review.
Okay, thank you. We have a second?
And I believe Commissioner Anderson seconded it, right?
I did second that motion, yes. Thank you.
So we have a motion and a second to refer the bids back to the Public Works Department to come back to this body with their recommendation. Is there anything on the question? Commissioner Callahan.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Is there any chance we can get an estimated cost on that, please?
Ms. Gleason?
Yep. Madam
Or
Chair.
Public Works? Yeah.
Yep. Madam Chair, Commissioner Callahan. The engineer estimate for that is $793,372.
Thank you.
Thank you. So we have a motion and a second. Anything further on the question? Would everyone please vote? Would anyone care to change their vote? Would the clerk please record the vote? We have 11 yay and 0 nay. Motion passes. Okay, moving on to section 1, communications. The first item is communication 2020-411. Brenda McDonough, Commissioner District 8, requesting Council of Commissioners consideration that Butte-Silver take over the outside maintenance of the Community Ice Center located at Clark Park. The original operating agreement had the Butte Amateur Hockey Association maintaining the grounds However, I think Butte-Silver should assume the maintenance. I had a long discussion with Commissioner Frederickson. He's on the Parks and Recs Board. Would you care to just comment briefly on that, Commissioner Frederickson?
Yeah, thanks, Madam Chair. We had our Parks Board meeting last Monday, and I spoke with Mr. Lazary about this, and it sounds like they're in discussions. They've been talking with the Butte Amateur Hockey Association, but things aren't really going anywhere because, well, it's hockey season. So they asked that that we hold off on this until April.
Okay. Thank you, Commissioner Frederickson. I agree. I know that there's been a lot of discussion going on. It's all favorable, I believe. There might be some changes down the road on the lease agreement, but it is the height of hockey season, so I can understand they're wanting to wait to give this the proper attention. So I would entertain a motion to move this to suspense file. We have a suspense file for those new people on board. It just simply comes off the agenda. It's put in there until a certain time, a designated time. I believe they said April, and our our council secretary has a tickler file, and she'll just pull it out just shortly before April so we can get it back on the agenda. So I believe I would just entertain a motion to that effect. Commissioner Frederickson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would make a motion to move communication 2020-411 to the suspense file until April 2021.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to move communication 2020-411 to the suspense file until April. Is there anything on the question? Would everyone please vote? Would anyone care to change their vote? The clerk, please record the vote. And we have 10 yea and 1 nay. Motion passes. Moving on to item 2, communication 2021-20, Thomas Davis Jr., Silverbow Tavern Association, requesting Council of Commissioners consider that this year's county licensing fees be waived, dramatically reduced, credited if already paid, and/or recommendations on other means to help mitigate the burden to our small business owners. This would be for all beverage license or beer and wine license, Silverbow County retail food license, and catering special events license. And I see Mr. Davis has joined us this evening. Hello, Tom. Welcome.
Hi. Thank you, Madam Chair.
You
Hi.
have the floor.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair. Hello, everyone. I was invited again tonight, and we just want to reiterate, or actually, after speaking with many of our members last night, especially our Silverbow Tavern meeting that was held over at Star Lanes, expressing concerns from other tavern members, they still would like to still pursue the request on the fees, even though that the times had been changed from 10 p.m. closing time to 12:30. So we're still asking for the consideration of the fees being waived. More importantly, the consideration of the all beverage beer and wine, or wine for some of them. So a lot of concerns about my other members was, in their perspective, we're double taxed, in so to speak, or on the fees. First and foremost, we pay for our business license, which we're able to conduct business within Silverbow County. In addition to that, we're, as bars and casinos and or venues that facilitate alcohol sales, we're also incorporated another fee, which is all beverage or beer and wine, et cetera, et cetera. So we're just asking if those can be considered to be waived and or mitigated some of the costs.
Thank you, Tom. Council members, have any questions for Mr. Davis or comments? Commissioner Sorge.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I guess I'm kind of struggling. You know, I feel bad for the bar owners. I know quite a few of them. I know a lot of the owners. But again, I think there's some questions about fairness. You know, what about the people in retail business? Do we reduce their, you know, what about the people that if we've all been affected one way or another? I guess I'm really concerned what we're going to do, you know, the fairness of how do we reduce it for everybody? You know, so we do this for the bar and taverns, which, you know, are we going to have the other folks come forward? You know, I know the airlines folks, you know, their hours have all been cut. You know, there's a lot of people, their hours have been cut. You know, so where do we start and where do we stop? So that's my concern.
Any further comment? Commissioner O'Neill?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Appreciate it. I'm just kind of Tommy or Thomas, Mr. Davis, if you will. You know, I'm a bar guy myself, and um, I don't know how to be fair for the whole community. We'd have to waive all business license for everyone. I do understand your struggle. I definitely do. I'll do my best when this COVID thing lifts to come drink at least 100 beers at your establishment to hopefully make up for it, Mr. Davis. But I can't go with that mainly because we'd have to do something for the whole town. So just want you to understand where I'm coming from. So appreciate it.
Any other comments? Commissioner Fisher?
Thank you, Chairman Shaw. Thank you, Mr. Davis. I agree with things said by the past two commissioners, but also you got to remember the tavern owners and the bar owners have had extra burden put on them by having, no more than 6 people seating, no standing at the bar, compliance officers coming around checking on them. There's been federal monies come in, and I think Commissioner Reardon had a valid question last time about how many people received some money from that. All in all, it is a tough subject, and there's not an easy answer to it. And I don't know where we come in as commissioners in this. I think we're going to have a little powwow somewhere between Eileen Joyce, our county attorney, and Danette Gleason, our budget and finance director, and maybe our chief executive, JP Gallagher, because I don't think this is something that lays in the hands of the commissioners right now, because the communication only requests what they're asking for. And we don't have, we sorted out $150,000. When you break it down to the tavern owners, it's less than 25 or 30,000. I just think there's a lot more work to be done on this, and I consider their thoughts. I don't know how we get it done. I do think this has got to be sent to some subcommittee to discuss, and I don't know which one that'd be, but I just don't see where we're going to go with this by holding it week after week without getting some professional input on the monetary amount and the legalities of what we're doing here. So we as commissioners, I think, are just going to be kicking the can around until we get some better advice. Thank you.
Further comment? Commissioner Sorge?
If there is no more comment, I'm going to make a motion to deny and place on file.
Okay.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to deny the request for communication 2021-20 and place it on file. Is there anything further in the question? Commissioner Anderson?
I will, I kind of agree with both sides on this. I will say that we're talking about other businesses. There are a lot of other businesses in Silver Bow County that have been affected, but Silver Bow County never put limitations or restrictions on those businesses' hours of operations or anything else. So I think we're comparing apples and hand grenades almost to this. Yeah, some of these other businesses did suffer a little bit, but nowhere, we never put restrictions on Walmart. We never put restrictions on any place else. So I think we're just kind of, we're not really comparing the same thing over here. And I kind of agree with, I 100% agree with Commissioner Fisher on this, that we don't really have the necessary information, but I just wanted to point out that we're not really comparing the same items when we talk about that. So that's my piece on the matter. Thank you.
And I just want to add too, sorry, Mr. Davis, we're in the middle of a motion right now.
Okay.
Thank you. I just also wanted to say that I recall 2 weeks ago when we talked about this the last time, that both Deb and Mr. Davis, I forgot Deb's last name, they both pleaded with us to extend the hours. And we did that. And I'm sorry to say that I think that we have put out the olive branch that other people haven't had a chance to get. We still have restrictions on other businesses, 50% of restaurants and that sort of thing. So I just wanted to remind everybody that that was what their request was. And I'm a bit surprised, I'll be honest, that was not adequate. So that was just my comment. Is there anything further on the question? Okay, seeing none, would everyone please vote? And we're voting to deny and place communication 2021-20 on and place it on file, just as a reminder. Has everyone voted? Would anyone care to change their vote? Would the clerk please record the vote? What's that? I'm sorry, Ken. There's one, only 10? Okay. It looks like we're missing a vote. Let's see who it's from. Can you identify who that is? I still just have 10. We have maybe one nay or. Okay, so would the yeas please raise their hand? I guess we're missing a vote, so the yeas. And so we have 1, 2, 3. John? John's off. John Swartz is offline. Okay. John, are you on? Are you around? Well, let's see. Yeah, it looks like John is not on, so I can't assume anything. Can you give him a call? Hang on one second.
John did make the motion.
Yes, he did make the motion. Okay. So what do you have number-wise? Considering John would be again. That's a yay. Okay. We have 8 yay and 3 nay. Motion passes. Okay. I just want to say thank you, Tom, for bringing this to our attention. I appreciate your being here. We just wish you the best, okay? And hope this thing ends soon. That's all I can say. So thanks again. All right, moving along to section 3, communication 2021-37, Bob Lazary, Recreation and Special Event Coordinator, requesting Council of Commissioners concurrence and authorization, give a brief presentation of the recently completed Highland View Clubhouse on January 27th, 2021 Committee of the Whole meeting. We did have that presentation. Commissioner Frederickson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I make a motion to place communication 2021-37 and place it on file.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to place communication 2021-37 on file. Anything on the question? Would everyone please vote? Would anyone care to change their vote? Will the clerk please record the vote? I think we're still missing John Sorich.
Commissioner Shaw, or Madam Chairman Shaw, Commissioner Sorich is listening in. He's not able to reconnect back up. He had a bad connection with his computer right now.
Oh, okay. Is he a yay or a nay?
Well, I don't know if he can vote, but he's saying yay, but I don't know if he can vote.
Yeah. Well, I'll just say we have 10 yay and 0 nay. Thank you, Hattie, for that. Appreciate Commissioner Thatcher. Thank you.
If John wants to come down to the chief executive's office, he could sit here and I could sit back and he could vote.
Okay.
Off of my computer if he wanted to come in.
He's at home.
I think he's at home.
We can make him come up here, but okay. All right, we're fine.
I thought he was here.
I don't believe there's anything else that's critical coming up. So thankfully, we just start placing certain presentations and bid openings on file. Communication number 2021-40, Michelle Shea, Commissioner District 2, requesting Council of Commissioners concurrence and authorization to have a presentation on January 27th, 2021 from Cassie Wick and Todd Hoare to discuss their observations resulting from a walking audit around Whittier School. We did have that presentation. Commissioner Frederickson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I make a motion to place communication 2021-40 and place on file.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to place communication 2021-40 on file. Would everyone please vote? Would anyone care to change their vote? Would the clerk please record the vote? We have 10 yea and 0 nay. Communication number 5, communication 2021-48, Angie Milliken, Public Works Budget Analyst, requesting Council of Commissioners concurrence and authorization to schedule a bid opening for February 3rd, 2021 for the hot mix asphalt supply for the 2021 season. The hot mix is used to repair and resurface roads throughout Butte-Silver Bow. Commissioner Frederickson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I make a motion to place communication 2021-48 on file.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to place communication 2021-48 on file. Is there anything on the question? Would everyone please vote? Anyone care to change their vote? Would the clerk please record the vote? We have 10 yea and 0 nay. Item 6, communication 2021-49, Angie Milliken, Public Works Budget Analyst, requesting Council of Commissioners concurrence and authorization to schedule a bid opening for February 10th, 2021 for the dig and replacement of sewer lines on Clark, Zerelda, Alabama, Hornet, Waukesha, Quartz, Rampart, and Cedar Lake streets. We did have that bid opening this evening. So Commissioner Frederickson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I make a motion to place communication 2021-49 on file.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to place communication 2021-49 on file. Anything on the question? Would everyone please vote? Would anyone care to change their vote? Would the clerk please record the vote? Okay. We have 11 yea and 0 nay. We have John back. Welcome back, John. Commissioner Sorge. Item 7, communication number 2021-63, Madeline Gregg, Thomas Development Associates, requesting Council of Commissioners concurrence and authorization to schedule a public hearing for February 17th, 2021 for affordable housing and property tax exemption for Aspen Place Apartments, 68-unit senior affordable housing community located at 4500 Continental Drive, Butte, Montana, 59701. We will hold this in abeyance until that public hearing on the 17th. Communication 8 is number 2021-70. Lori Casey, Planning Director, requesting Council of Commissioners concurrence and authorization to schedule a public hearing for February 17th, 2021 to hear comments on zone change application number 181, which is a proposed amendment to the official Butte-Silver Bow zoning map. We will hold that in abeyance until that date as well. So we are now at the point of any public comment on any public matter not on the agenda. Do we seem to have any calls? Okay, we'll give it a minute. And I do have 3 letters to be read into the record. So anybody that cares to call in for comment on any matter not on the agenda can call us at 497-5009. And we will leave the phones open until I finish reading these letters. Okay, the first letter is from John Ray. This is his comment. He wanted to submit this for this evening's meeting. Dr. John Ray, 915 West Galena Street. It is a truth of politics and government that in order for rules and regulations to be effective, even when penalties are attached for noncompliance, they must, as most are, be voluntarily accepted and followed. There cannot be an enforcement officer everywhere. People must follow rules and regulations because they see them as necessary, legitimate, and made in the proper way. If the current safety regulations, wearing masks, social distancing, etc., are to be effective, citizens must by and large voluntarily comply. Of course, there must be consequences for those who break the law, but these penalties must rest on the foundations of voluntary compliance. It is with the above in mind that I can understand why the health department slightly relaxed the current health safety protocols in place in Butte. Fortunately, the mask wearing requirements, social distancing, and limitation of rates of occupancy remained in place. Dr. Welker was certainly correct when he remarked that relaxing restrictions places greater burdens on citizens for voluntary compliance in the practice of social responsibility. As has been said before, not everyone behaves as they should, and the many cannot be held hostage by the problematic behavior of the few. I must say that I had some misgivings about the recent relaxing of safety regulations. Even though these changes of allowing later closing hours are relatively small, I am concerned that they set a bad precedent. We should only change our collective minds because we were wrong, not because people were upset or angry. When the facts change, of course, change your mind, but in this case, the facts did not change. If anything, the data regarding rates of infection, et cetera, did not meet the standards for relaxing restrictions that had previously been adopted by the health department. These were good and protective standards, and no data was evinced warranting a relaxation of these standards. Only when the facts change should we change our mind. We don't want citizens to get the idea that the goals and standards for meeting the COVID-19 challenge were done in an arbitrary manner. These infection rate and number standards had good science behind them, and only good science should be allowed to change them. I say this as a friend and as someone who has deep respect and admiration for the work you are doing in the face of vituperation, threats, and overall obnoxious comments. We have an extremely competent and concerned Board of Health, and we should listen to them. With the above said, I would offer the following concrete proposal. Dr. Cornell said that if the rates and numbers of cases start to climb, the health department should revisit the restrictions. I would suggest that if the rates and numbers of COVID-19 infections passes the articulated target limits for rates and numbers of infections by the health department, the restrictions be automatically reimposed once there is verification of the new numbers and rates, and that was underlined. This will provide an element of certainty and predictability to the health situation. Establishment owners and operators will be more vigilant if they know that additional restrictions are automatic if rates or numbers increase. Patrons who want to see the establishments that they visit stay open will be motivated to comply. Although we were headed in the right direction, we have seen in the history of this disease examples of where cases and rates were headed in a positive direction, standards got relaxed, and the cases and numbers headed up again. We need to learn from that. While it is true the economy is hurting, if we don't defeat this virus, where will we be? The road to economic recovery must be through the defeat of this disease. The above comments should in no way be taken to be any type of criticism of the Butte Board of Health and the Health Department. They have performed their duties in an exemplary manner, and all citizens owe them a great debt. Thanks to the outstanding efforts of our health professionals, we are heading in the right direction. Butte's vaccination distribution program is outstanding. I ask the Council of Commissioners to continue to support the efforts of our Health Department and Board of Health. They have done a remarkable job, and we must support their efforts. Let us stay the course until COVID-19 is defeated. And that's the end of John Ray's letter. This one is from Carrie Fisher. I don't have an address. Let's see. Oh, she has her address listed as Pita Pit Taco del Sol in the historic Stevens Block in Butte, America. Subject: Blue Range Building partial demolition. Dear Commissioners and HP Commission members at the Historic Preservation, as the owner of two businesses in Uptown Butte, both of which required repurposing historic buildings within our community, I felt compelled to express my view of the most recent sale and partial demolition proposal of the Blue Range building that is being presented for your review. Butte is the proud holder of the title of one of the largest national historic landmark districts in the United States, having close to 6,000 historic buildings within its city limits. The struggle between development and historical preservation is one that has always been present, not only in our community, but others such as ours. I believe that the renovations of the buildings that my two businesses occupy on 1 North Montana Street and 146 West Park Street are fine examples of reusing and rebuilding spaces while still maintaining the historical integrity of a building. And I feel strongly that we need help new developers see the importance of design standards within a historic district. The Blue Range building has sat in the same state for some time and is in need of extensive work. The owners are fortunate to have found a buyer who is interested in taking this off their hands, but unfortunately, according to the submitted paperwork, the buyer wishes to remove the walls that provide the most historical significance, leaving only the south wall intact. What will we lose is the east wall ghost sign and the north facade. The facade is on one of the 2 remaining buildings from the historic red light district. In its place, we can assume that the new owners will construct a facade and building to match their current business buildings that are uptown. And in some respect, this is fine. The Stacks business runs a clean and respectable business, and they have contributed greatly to our community. But what if they were motivated to restore the facade and the west wall and still build their desired business around that? Or if there is no salvation for the brickwork whatsoever, are there design guidelines in place for rebuilding within our historic district? Are there grants that would be available to encourage the new owners to embrace the idea of renovation versus demolition? If so, can you guide them? I am the last person to stand in the way of development, but now more than ever, Butte-Silver is in need of well thought out plans for renovations, rebuilding, and growth within our historic district. The time to set the standard for our community is now, and I encourage you all to view our uptown as the gem it is. And that was submitted by Carrie Fisher. And the last letter I have to read here is from Eldon Beal. Dakota, he's on 315 South Dakota Street in Butte. Madam Chair, Cindy Shaw, and Council of Commissioners, my question and comment is, since Governor Greg Gianforte lifted the mask mandate that's been in effect since July, does the state bill that was passed this afternoon have precedence over local, city, and/or county laws? And that was from Eldon Beal, 315 South Dakota Street, Butte. That concludes the call or the written comments, and I don't see anything on the phone. Okay, well, with that, Commissioner Mankin.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just wanted to do a shout out tonight to the maintenance crews out there, maintenance shop, maintenance roads, employees that have helped us remove all this snow in a 48-hour time period. It seems like our primary and our secondary roads are excellent, and it's just a great shout out. And I know everybody in every one of our districts are happy to see that done throughout our city. So I just want to thank them all for everything they do for us. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Mankins, and I think you echo every one of our sentiments about that. Not only did they do the primary roads first, they had to do them a second time before they could even get to secondary roads. So kudos to all those guys out there and gals running our snowplows and graders. Anything else before us this evening? Commissioner O'Neill.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The letter that was just read from Saco del Sol and Pita Pit. See, one thing I caught in there, I believe with tonight, is design standards. Just a great thing to throw out there. We need some design standards. It was a very good point. And also piggybacking off of Commissioner Mankins, they're doing a great job with the snow. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner O'Neill. Any further comments or anything else to add before we adjourn? Okay, with that, I would entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thanks, everyone. Have a nice evening. See you next week.
Thanks, Madam Chair. Good night, everybody.